these two guys had a competition of who could get the most man buns in a jar. So they were going by like chopping off people's man buns and putting them in a jar.
What the fuck?
Oh, dude.
Wow.
Crazy.
Just
Crazy.
ruining people's day.
If you gon' go, then go, don't tell me you won't. I want them diamonds on my neck to make me look like I'm cold. That ain't for you and none of these hoes, that's just for me and my bros. I gotta fight for my balls, I gotta stack out this gold. I tell you I'm on a roll, we about to get all this dough. We ain't no fuck niggas, no, I swear to God we the go.
No, so, we've talked a lot about, collectibles on the show, NFTs. Obviously, Gary Vaynerchuk has been a big inspiration to us. So today on the show, we have on Ross Brown, who, we had James on last show, and he's our collectibles expert now. Ross is our NFT expert. And, we have him on the show to kind of talk NFTs and kind of talk the stigma that surrounds it. So before we kind of really dive into NFTs, one, tell the people what an NFT is, and then talk about like kind of the pros and cons of NFTs in this current market.
One, thanks for having me, but like NFTs are basically digital collectibles, but they're contracts, so they can like signify different things. And I get why there's such a negative stigma, because people see all these shit projects that they know are shit, and they're like, okay, NFTs are garbage. And most of them that are out there now are garbage because it was like a quick money grab. They blew up, got real popular, and everybody's trying to make a buck. So they were just creating these collectibles with no value, nothing for the people that owned them. And so all of a sudden people are seeing them and are like, what the fuck are people buying? It was a bunch of garbage. And so that's the whole NFT stigma got started. You also end up with a lot of douchebags like getting into the space, just kind of the people that got rich quick and love to like flex on people and show that off. And so one, it's like a lot of people are seeing shit NFTs, and two, people that they don't want to associate with in any regard. But that being said, it's like, it's real obvious to me that NFTs are going to be around and they're going to be the future. The clearest example is you look at ticketing. Is you can put into the contract one of these NFTs, if all the tickets for a Taylor Swift concert are NFTs, and you can put into the contract that she gets a 10% royalty every time one's sold. So now all of a sudden those tickets that were going for 10, 15, 20 grand, she's pulling crazy money every time there's a resale. So
and there's value to hold that ticket is what you're saying for forever.
For sure. I mean, think about if you had Taylor Swift's first concert NFT, if you had Drake's, if you had...
I don't even think it's that, because if you go on eBay right now, you can go buy a fucking ticket to anything. Mm-hmm. Like, so I think that I think that the average person looks at NFT and they just see what you said. They're just, it's just a commodity. Yeah. It's like a piece of art that sits in a digital wallet that no one does anything to. What you're alluding to, and which I 100% agree, is that NFTs are going to a place that it's not about a commodity, but it's actually going to have utility with it. So like you said, concert, I buy this NFT, I go to a concert, therefore I can later be like, hey, I could sell to this person, because Taylor might have an artist to, make this ticket. Well, this artist gets big. Someone's like, oh, I want to buy her whole collection of shit, blah, blah, blah.
And I want to walk it back a little bit. What made you even get into NFTs? I feel like that's a better place to start. But that
was my first question was, how do you get into NFTs?
Great, but yeah, how'd you get in?
So I didn't give a shit about NFTs, didn't know anything about it. I kind of believed in that stigma. I'm like, okay, like I want nothing to do with this digital art, seeing monkeys on the internet. I'm like, I'm good. Like I get people are making money, but I'm good. But I mean, y'all have talked about it. It's just like seeing Gary and the influence he's had on y'all. Like the man very much changed my life, and I owe so much to him just for his influence and just like the wisdom he's spoken over me, but also getting to see him and how he's operated and kind of learning from that. So Gary is always like giving information, giving help, spreading love, but like was never asking for anything in return. So I've never seen him as like a salesperson type. And so when he was like, hey, listen, y'all, like, trust me, if y'all follow me, if you really believe in me, like, buy my VeeFriends NFT, which is like his first NFT collection. And so for me, it was, I believe in this guy to such an extreme. This is my opportunity to invest in him. And so I got into VeeFriends from day one. And I mean, it just led me on this crazy journey of just...
So Gary was your first thought of like I'm gonna go buy it, which is you bought a VeeFriends Series 1, which is very valuable.
What was the V1 that you bought?
So I got.
And how much was it as well at the time, and what is it now? Just for
the crazy thing is, I bought a gift goat because it like came with gifts and stuff. I was like, oh, this would be cool. I know Gary's gonna like deliver on that. But the biggest thing was I wanted to get basically with each VeeFriend you get admission to VCon, like Gary's super conference every year. And so I was like, I just want me, my dad, and my best friend to be able to go to VCon. So I'm sitting there, I'm clicking buy, but like everybody's trying to buy them at the same time. And so I'm like, okay, sweet. Like I think I got my 3, but I wasn't sure. And so I'm like, I'm clicking on one and it's like, you're out of money. I'm like, the fuck you mean I'm out of money? And so I go to my wallet and there's 6 of them sitting there. I'm like, oh shit, like what did I just do?
You accidentally bought 6
instead of 3. Yeah.
How much were they too? So just to give people perspective who don't know how much they cost.
So it was about $2,000 a pop. So I mean it was
so 12 grand. So 12 G's.
But the gift goat cost me 20.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was 30 grand like that.
How did you accidentally buy 6?
So everybody was trying to buy them, and so it kept saying like request failed, like you didn't get it. So I was like, fuck, let me get another one. So I'm like going in and like click, and it's like request failed. But the reason it was failing was because I already owned it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So for the most part, hindsight 2020.
Yeah.
Are you happy? Are you still like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have bought the extra 3? Or now you're like, it's not a bad idea to have the extra 3?
I made great money off my initial plays.
Yeah.
My problem was, as it kept going up, I kept buying more.
Oh.
And that's when I lost my
You
ass.
just kept drinking the Kool-Aid.
Exactly. I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like, it's still going up. Like, let me get another one of those.
Hey, it's hard when it's going up. And I'll say that it's a little bit different, but it's still in the crypto space. It's like when I first finally got into Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
It's like started buying at like 17K. And I was like just dipping my toe in. But it's like as it keeps going up, you keep buying and you're like, and then it gets to 65K and you're like, it might hit 100, And
you're like
back, and now it's back at like 26. So it's
you start listening to the hype a little bit.
For sure. It's hard to kind of drown out that noise. So
for sure.
You buy 6 VF1s to get to VCon.
Right.
What is like, so I guess what is like the plan with it? Like, what are you hoping that, like, what's the plan with the 6? Like, are you planning on keeping them forever? Because like part of the NFT, right? It lives on the blockchain forever. No one can take that away from you. And that is like the benefit of it. Like you can't steal it, right?
Right.
It's not like it's physically laying on the counter and you can just grab it. So like, what's the plan? Do you ever think you're going to sell it? Like you just kind of keep it because you really believe in Gary and what he's going to build?
I mean, it's kind of ebbed and flowed. And I mean, there are some, like I would sell some of my collection if like the price was right and it was something that was changing money for me. And that was part of it, is we went on this bull run where they were going for 70, 80 grand a pop and I didn't sell. And hindsight 2020, like, should I have sold? Yeah. And bought back in later. Yeah. But the issue was I didn't have anything that I really wanted to spend money on at the time. So I was like, why would I take money out when this is my investment and my belief in Gary? And so it's like, yeah, if the price was right and there was something that's like, hey, this is a meaningful way for me to spend money, then sure. But at the same time, like Gary's meant so much to me. This is almost also a way for me to say thank you and I believe in you with my money, which I think is something that's super valuable to me.
I agree with you. I think that's worth investing in. And then I want to say to kind of pivot off the VeeFriends. And if anybody didn't know, Gary's collection is called VeeFriends. I don't know if you've even said that. I think we said VF1, but it's called VeeFriends. How many characters are there?
Ooh,
it's like 260.
265, I want to say.
Yeah, I was going to say it's 260 something. Each character, and I can kind of explain it. You definitely know more, but like each character relates to a good human quality. Like that's Gary's like brand, is he's trying to make good humans, make the world a better place. Gary talks about it all the time. Like, it's not red and blue, it's purple. So that's kind of the idea of VeeFriends, but kind of pivoting away from VeeFriends.
Well, real quick, I wanted to talk on that. Like you're talking about like the good characters and everything. Like the most valuable thing that's come out of VeeFriends to me is it got a bunch of people together that believe in the characteristics that Gary wants to make popular. And so it's built this community around people with good hearts, believe in Gary's message, and are like focused on making the world a better place. So it's like, I didn't understand the whole like NFT douchebag stereotype because I was constantly surrounded by incredible people. Like some of my best friends I met like in the VeeFriends world. I met my girlfriend at VCon. Like it's like an incredible group of people that like you can sit when the prices are going up, when the prices are going down. Like it doesn't matter in that sense because you still have like this amazing group of people that are like kind of sharing in that journey with you. It's almost like cheering for a sports team with a bunch of people that are like crazy into it as well. You have that community that's cheering on that project with you.
It's kind of like for people that don't know NFTs, and maybe this is just out of pocket, but it's like, to me, I think I compare VeeFriends to like Pokemon. It's like a modern day Pokemon where it's like, he's going to have shows. He's going to probably have like amusement parks and he's going to have more conferences. Like it's going to be like Pokemon, but if Pokemon was in modern day doing it, like, I mean, I guess they still are making Pokemon cards, but it's in a different realm, obviously, but it's very similar. It's like Pokemon Disney-esque scenario where he's going to try to make it a card, but also an experience, utility, whatever. I kind of want to pivot a little bit off this. I know Zachary wanted to do as well. And I'm just curious, other than Gary and VeeFriends, what's an NFT project that you would be like, I would go all in with them because of X, Y, and Z?
For sure. And I mean, I didn't know anything really about NFTs until I got in with VeeFriends. But then just with me being in the space so much, you start learning other stuff. And the biggest, like, I believe in VeeFriends to such an extent. I think Gary's going to do amazing things with it. The one that's just so clear and like it just makes no sense not to buy it is Loud Punx to me. And that's Rolling Loud's NFT. Basically, what it does is if you have this NFT, you get free VIP access plus a Loud Punx area, so you get like free drinks, and it's like it's better than Rolling Loud VIP, and you get access for life as long as you own the NFT
to all the Rolling Louds. So not just like Miami, it's like you go to all of the Rolling Louds.
Miami, Los Angeles, New York, Thailand, Portugal. You can go anywhere you want, and it pays for itself in 2 Rolling Louds, and it's Rolling Loud for life. If this shit was on their website with a credit card, it would have sold out immediately.
So, okay, I was going to say, so how is that even something they could offer? Because like in my mind, obviously you're not going to go to every single Rolling Loud, right?
Right.
But it becomes to a point where it's like, where does Rolling Loud lose out? Like, where is it the value gone for them and something like that? Was it just like a limited thing, or was it like you had to kind of know someone to do it? Like, what was how did you even, obviously they don't sell that now, or else people would be fucking buying those left and right.
You can still buy it
now. You could buy it. You could buy it on the block. You can still buy them right now.
You can't buy them from Rolling Loud. I've been looking at them, but you can go on OpenSea right now.
But yeah, you could buy it from someone else. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you could buy it. I could buy it from you. Right,
but OpenSea is like eBay.
Here's the 100%. Crazy shit: they're cheaper now on OpenSea than when Rolling Loud released them.
Wow,
they were like $2,500 when Rolling Loud released them, which one is just stupid pricing.
It's not
and now they're like $2,000 or maybe even a little less than that.
I've been looking at them.
I mean, that sounds crazy. And do you think that Rolling Loud is actually going to continue this? Because if we want to just go back, like Gary's VeeFriends, they're for 3 VCons. He's already done 2, so he has 1 more left that he's promised, right? So there could be a whole other thing. Like, I don't know if he's going to keep VCon going or what. Do you think that Rolling Loud is going to continue this, or is it just going to be like, yeah, we've already had too many 2024s last year, and you know what I mean? Or is it just like
the issue?
That's the gamble of it.
My only gamble in a Loud Punk is Rolling Loud stops entirely. They can't stop. I mean, they made it abundantly clear when they sold these it is a lifetime VIP pass.
It's also, you got to think about it. Rolling Loud's going to make their money off everybody else who doesn't own the NFT. So it's like, what's it matter if...
Do you know how many there were? Like how many NFTs there were?
So here's what's fucking crazy is there was like, I want to say like 5,000 that were, maybe even 10,000 that were like able to be minted. I think it was like, I don't want to say the exact number, but it was about 2,500 were minted. And so then they're like, okay, we're cutting off of that. That's all there's ever going to be.
Wow. So there's really not. It's a
There's
pretty
not that
scarce.
many.
It's a pretty scarce group.
And it's great publicity for them because at some point, people are going to understand the utility behind NFTs and they're going to become a big thing once it's less of just shitty art and more of like, hey, what does this NFT actually do for me? And once we hit that point, people are going to be dying for these loud punks. And now it's this huge publicity for them is like, if you own a loud punk, that's like a status symbol in society. It's like, man, I got loud punk VIP for life.
I just want to just go back really quick on that because you said that you think once people realize the utility, more people will buy it.
Yeah.
I do agree with that, but I also think that it has to be easier to purchase a.
For sure.
It's got to be like how I can just go buy, a stock on Robinhood.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be that same way, or else it's never going to be mainstream. Like if you can't get my dad to fucking do it, it's not.
But that's what
able to
Ross
do it.
just said. It's like if you could have went online and bought it with a credit
For
card,
sure.
it would have sold out.
Oh,
Right?
100%. I guess you're right. Yeah.
If you're dealing with all these people in college that like love Rolling Loud that can like put it on mom or dad's credit card, like they're selling 100,000 of those, you know?
Yeah. They would definitely have to cap it. But it's also like, even if they sold all 10,000 they wanted to do, like how many of those 10,000 are going to show up to each Rolling Loud, right?
Yeah.
Even if you say all 10,000 show up, but all the other people are getting VIP access. They're getting the general admission. They're getting, they're buying drink. Like like those 10,000 people, they've already made their money. Like they made their money off the mint, the 2,500, and now they're going to keep getting like Rolling Loud doing that was absolutely
for sure.
genius.
But anyone who's ever been to a festival knows that the ticket price and the hotel and the flight, that is just like the bare minimum. Like you're gonna go in there, you're gonna be like, oh, I fucking love this t-shirt, I'm gonna go buy a t-shirt.
For sure.
Oh, there's this, I'm gonna go buy this. Oh, there's some attraction there that costs money, I'm gonna do that. It's like once you're in the fucking venue, you're spending money, it don't matter, you're tipping, you're doing something. So it's definitely genius to do.
Here's where Loud Punks gets really interesting. I'm not saying to do this because Rolling Loud definitely frowns upon it, but you can sell your access to all the different ones. They have ways that they try to stop it, but there's 100% loopholes. So now if you go on OpenSea, they're $2,000. VIP is about $1,200. Say you give somebody a 50% discount and you sell 3 shows, which there's 3 American shows a year, you've basically made back your lifetime access in 1 year by selling it.
It makes
and that's
sense.
at 50% off. You could charge more than that.
And I feel like if people bought that, for some reason, maybe I'm just weird, but I feel like people didn't just buy one Loud Punk when they bought a Loud Punk.
Gotta
I feel
at least
like,
buy 2.
I feel like you got to buy, because like you would want your boy or your girl to,
And how many do you own?
So I've got 6 for...
Crazy.
Hey, Ross might be hooking up the crew, Rolling Loud Miami.
we're going to have a good
Hooking up
time.
a
Yeah,
Loud Punks.
and for the people that don't know Ross, we are doing a Miami Rolling Loud trip. Zachary and I are actually media coverage, but we're gonna be vlogging, podcasting. Ross is gonna be a part of the game.
I'm just going to get stupid.
And we're gonna have a good time, bro. The set list is insane. Like the Rolling Loud set list is insane.
Listen, Ross is gonna be the superstar of the vlog. That's all I know.
Hey,
Ross is Captain Riz.
We
That's all I know.
we gotta do like Sonny and you. We gotta do some competition for the vlog. There's gotta be some
We can have some fun
competition.
with that.
We gotta try something out. I feel like that'll be such a good time.
100% not doing this, but I saw this at a festival. Was back when man buns were like a really big thing. These 2 guys had a competition of who could get the most man buns in a jar. So they were going by like chopping off people's man buns and putting them in a jar.
What the fuck?
Oh, dude.
Wow.
Crazy.
Just
crazy.
ruining people's day.
Ruining people's
They
day.
weren't asking. They were just
No,
chopping.
just going up and chopping people's man buns and like taking off running.
Man,
Yeah.
That's wild.
I hope they got arrested.
that's
Yeah.
You should get arrested.
Yeah,
for
that's
that.
insane.
100%.
I mean, listen, I've been to quite a few festivals, and you'll see some shit. You'll see some shit.
Have you used one of the Rolling Loud access tokens yet?
No, I haven't used them.
Wow.
I've had other people use them.
How long have you had it?
Let's see. I got it a little bit before Rolling Loud LA.
Okay,
So,
so
had it
not
for a little bit.
So not that
not
long.
too
ago.
long, but yeah.
Okay, but still, I mean, this is gonna be a nice little time to pop
Good
the old
experience,
Rolling Loud
yeah.
cherry.
But I mean, it's crazy. Like, they also have a lounge where it's free drinks. Like, drinks are stupid expensive at festivals.
Or you could drink.
Yeah.
You could drink $2,000 in
Easily,
liquor.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with those prices, you could
For sure.
Exactly.
not like legitimately.
You'll be making
but
friends left and right with free alcohol,
Of
too.
course. Man, I
sure.
wonder if they limit that. Do you think they limit the drinks?
I had some friends
know.
pull up to the last couple ones,
Do you think you can just hand out drinks? It's cool.
and they were saying they gave security like $20-$30, and he didn't give a fuck.
That's fair. Yeah, but a lot of the
I
security
mean, that's
shit,
definitely.
they're
Listen, they don't
getting
care.
hired just for that show.
A lot of those guys are doing it so they can do like they go to the show, but they could also like, oh, on my off time, I can go to shows. I can still fuck around.
For sure. And I mean, as we kind of wrap up, I want to leave the people with where you think, and maybe we've kind of already hit this, but I just want to make sure we drive it home, where you think NFTs are going to go, why you think utility is going to win. Because I agree, like the artwork's cool, like the Bored Apes and whatever the other one's called. What's the other one? Bored Ape and
Crypto Punks is a big.
and what is
one.
it? The yacht club or
That's Bored Apes. That's Bored
okay,
Ape Yacht Club.
Yeah.
whatever. Bored Ape Yacht Club, like that is art. There's no utility with that, and I think that will stay because it's like rich people buy art. That
See,
it's
to
just-
me,
it's all
the
skeptical.
Bored Ape is just a club.
It is. It's
a big club.
It's a
It's
big
a
club.
club.
No one's in.
It's because there's a lot of like super wealthy people there. I mean, you got
That's what I'm
Snoop Dogg,
saying.
you got Eminem, Jimmy
Steph
Fallon,
Curry.
Steph Curry, Von Miller. It's like, hey, I want to
Justin
be in the
Bieber.
club with them. You know,
Of course.
Nelk Boys.
It's
ton of
a
guys.
status symbol. So obviously you have that. Utility's gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think in the next 5 years NFTs will be? You think it's going to still kind of be in that bear market, people trying to figure it out? Do you think it's going to kind of be on the up and up because people have tried to figure out the technology? It's gotten a
Yeah.
lot easier because the thing with NFTs and why people think it's stupid or it's fake or it's not real, it's because they haven't taken the time to actually figure it out. So whenever we can eliminate that barrier, so where do you think in the next 5 years NFTs is going to be?
I think it's going to have some growing pain for sure, especially in the next couple of years. I think 5 years is going to be once it's really starting to come out of that, because all it's really going to take is a couple of big companies that people use on a daily basis. For Starbucks to have an NFT drop where it's, hey, if you own this NFT, you get free drip coffee every day with the purchase of any of their pastries. They're making a fuck ton off pastries, but people would get so excited off that where they could get their coffee for free every day. And so it's all about the utility in that aspect. I mean, that's my belief in VeeFriends, is that Gary's going to provide so much utility that it's going to be worth so significantly more. With Rolling Loud, they dropped Loud Punx, and I don't give a fuck about the art, but I care that you can get VIP access at any time. Like, once you have these big companies that are pushing the utility and saying, hey, by you believing in us and you buying this thing, we're going to provide you value back in that, I think it's going to become mainstream. And don't get me wrong, like, the internet used to be called like the World Wide Web. Nobody's saying that shit. I bet the name NFT is going to drop because it has such a stigma. I think we're going to start calling them something else. And then all of a sudden it's just going to be like, call it digital collectibles. It's like digital collectibles are just going to become just a part of society.
I've never heard somebody say the World Wide Web and like drop an NFT.
I've heard
that's
that.
a really good point.
No,
that's a really good point.
I've heard that, and I just want to close out the section. We did this with James, a little bit of this and that. So I want to do two questions.
I didn't know you wanted to do this or that. That's why I didn't.
So
I didn't want to
so
wrap
two
it up.
Two questions of this or that. One, this and that is going to be a utility NFTs, and the one is just going to be pure commodity / the group. All right. So for this or that, first one, and I'm talking about the whole project as a whole. I'm not talking about individual.
Yeah.
So Loudpunk or VeeFriend?
I got to go VeeFriends on that. Like, Loudpunk is your short-term answer. Like, no shit, right now you can see all this utility. But I mean, if you deep dive in enough to who Gary is and what a brilliant businessman he is, a social genius, like, he's the kindest, most giving person alive. And so it's like people, like big name people, you got fucking Snoop Dogg, you have Shaquille O'Neal, like people that are big names that genuinely care about him attached to his business pedigree, the man's going to win. And so being invested in him is just a good idea.
I completely agree.
And Rolling Loud and VeeFriends might do something together.
Hey, that'd be lit. All right, CryptoPunk or a Bored Ape?
It's hard. I gotta go CryptoPunk, and it's super interesting because I say utility.
Yeah.
But CryptoPunk was like, it wasn't the first NFT, but it was like
Close to
the first NFT that people gave a shit about. And so it's always going to be that first collectible.
For sure. And
whereas
they have a lot. I mean, they've sold for a lot of money. A lot.
Crazy money. And so if you have this yacht club and you get a couple of people dropping out of that, all of a sudden your club's not so desirable. And they're trying to do this whole metaverse thing, which I think is an absolute mistake on their part, because the metaverse is inevitable to me. But you know who's going to win.
Yeah, someone bigger. Facebook,
it's going to be Apple. It's going to be Google. Like, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, I don't care how successful their NFT has been, because it's been extremely successful. They're not fucking winning the metaverse race. Like, let's be real on this.
You're
1,000,000%.
You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong. Well,
Ross.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure, brother.
Appreciate it, bro.
I enjoyed it. Appreciate you
it,
guys.
bro. See you guys.
Wanna see my brothers get rich? Wanna tell you I'm in it. Watch me get my racks. And we ball so hard they think my niggas selling crack. We was pushing packs for 260 a pound. We was down, probably had some product in your town, but now we back. Same straight for all my niggas, call my fam. And I made about 10 racks up off these features in the end. For my grandma, hope she know that this for you and you and him. For my brothers, for my family, for my mama, for my team.